Skales says Wizkid never liked him. Nigerian artist Skales has spoken about his strained relationship with his former record label mate Wizkid, alleging that the singer never liked him. The Shake Body crooner made the revelation while speaking on the Listen podcast, where he shared his perspective, claiming that he has always felt repelling energy from Wizkid. Skales reopened the matter of their public fallout on social media years ago, which started when he jokingly responded during a question and answer session on Twitter, now known as X. Take a look at an excerpt from the podcast.
So, if you go back and check that, it was all about, I think that time I was doing like a question and answer on Twitter. And somebody said, oh, what's up with your guy, Wiz, blah, blah. And I said, jokingly, saying my brother Wiz does not have my time anymore. I think from there, that's to show you that he probably had me in mind. He started insulting my father, my mother, saying I'm wearing fake jewelry, saying like so much stuff. But honestly, that time, I wasn't the one replying. It was my ex-girlfriend that was replying because this is me. This is how I see life. I pick my battles. When I know that people believe anything you say, I don't need to fight you because really, whatever I say, they're going to say I'm jealous. Maybe they envy you or some kind of stuff like that. So I always looked at it like this is the most successful one amongst us. So they're going to say, okay, I'm jealous of him, which obviously that was the story that was going around. But I promise you, I've never. You understand? But yeah, I could tell you for a fact that, because I sat down recently and I said, this guy really doesn't like me. I can tell you for an example. For example, I remember when we shot Mukulu. Is Wiz in that video?
I can't remember. It's been a while.
He wasn't in that video, bro. And the excuse was, I can remember the story perfectly well. The excuse was, had a flat tire. Bro, you had a flat tire, bro, so you can't come. I remember I texted Jazzy that day in the evening, and he pulled up. Jazzy, David, everybody, So I always used to have this impression that this guy doesn't like me, but, I mean, we're here.
To say that he made attempts to reconcile with Wizkid, but his effort was reportedly met with resistance, stating, and I quote, I've tried to make peace with him, but he was adamant. He didn't like me, I can tell you for a fact, end of quote.
I don't even know what to say. I do not like this at all. We all know that on X, which is Twitter, Wizkid FC fans come for Skales on a regular, always trying to use Wizkid to poke him. And this has to be a recent interview. This is me. I can't tell how one should vent how they are feeling or state how they are feeling. But I think at times, if there are questions being asked about Wizkid, I think Skales should try to avoid it. Because this has opened up another thing again. Straight up, he doesn't like me. Yeah, things might have happened. One way or the other, they reconciled, and this happens. X will happen. And him saying this in a recent interview, I just find it awkward. To avoid unnecessary drama. Because he has said it. He said it in the interview that whichever way, if everything bounces back, it will be like you're envious of this guy and everything. I just think there's a way to avoid such questions if being asked because of how I don't like this at all. Because these two guys were in a record label together. That's EME, being headed by Banky W then. Yeah, everything was cool. It's just sad that coming out, people try to pit them against each other. And I like both of them, but when all of this comes up regularly on X, interviews like this, I do not like the situation at all.
Even during the same interview, he also further stated that he actually thought Banky didn't like him too. It wasn't until later he realized that Banky was looking out for him and Banky wanted the best for him. And there's just a lot, because I saw some comments. Some people were saying every time, Wizkid, get him off your mouth. Just a few months ago, he was in an interview on a podcast, and he spoke about this, saying Wizkid doesn't like him. A year ago, you would see an interview where he said Wizkid doesn't like him. So now people are beginning to feel like he's using this to stay on top of trends, because every time Wizkid doesn't like me, okay, we understand that. You know that already, and I saw a lot of comments of people blaming him, but it's just the way he feels, and it's just the fact that when these questions come up, he always wants to say something to clear the air, but like you said, I feel like he needs to avoid that.
Just tell whoever is asking you, if it's OC or anybody, or me, next question, or no comments, so that the headline will be, Skales doesn't have any comment as regards Wizkid. Let it go like that.
Something different.
I don't know. I don't know. If Skales, if I catch you outside for interview, I will ask you Wiz question. But I just feel sad as regards all of this. Two friends, all of a sudden, all of these things, they just need to get somewhere and settle it.